Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of sun. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time.
Welcome to episode 254 of Fourth and Jawn. I'm Gayle Saunders here with Evan Hollywood Hearn and Mr. Prime in the building. We are talking the Eagles Dallas recap. And this recap isn't going to be just the normal recap. I mean, this is more about vibes, really. I mean, but reflecting back, looking back. Now let everyone really think about this for a second. A year ago, right? We were sitting players at the end of the Washington game. Jalen Hurts is saying this is not right. This is not right. There's this back
outrage
of fans that are outraged. That maybe the Giants might have been outraged, but fast forward a year, we're sitting players at the end of the game, which is the common denominator from yesterday and last year. But the biggest difference is we are in the playoffs. There is a world of difference. Celebrate the growth that has happened over the years. Break out the flowers or whatever, what have you. Yesterday it was all about vibe. It was all about appreciating this Eagles team making the playoffs. I'm not talking about just the thing that people were excited about was just playing Dallas. It's Dallas week. But for 1 second, if you Cowboy fans out there thought Eagle fans were upset by this loss, or we had guys that you didn't know who were playing. You could ask any random Eagle fan; they wouldn't know. Only the dorks would know, like myself. But this is a vibe. You have Eagle fans in the crowd. It's cool. We only came to see Kelsey anyway. 122 games. Devontae Smith breaking the rookie record, breaking Deshaun's record. All about vibes. We had a great tailgate celebrating just pretty much the clinching. I mean, this picture right here is enough to tell you how crazy the tailgate was yesterday. Evan might have caught himself on fire. This girl was willing to put her tongue in the middle of the flames here. I don't know if you call them flames. Resident tailgater himself and new tailgater Marcus Beastwin having themselves a moment. Mark, that's it. That's his first time tailgating. You could
any
see,
event, right? He's never been to a tailgate period,
and he's been an Eagle fan for I think 40 years.
Oh, he's vibing, bro. Look at that face.
And then JJ Free is having a moment to himself, which got very uncomfortable.
He's trying to make love to the sparks, bro.
I mean, but overall, this was really the vibe of the day. I'm trying to get people to think about what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? We're talking about just Eagle fans having a good time, enjoying Dallas week, and that's what it is. And Justin, shout out to Justin, says I think it's safe to say that Marcus Beastwin is now a tailgater. So a lot of first timers that came out to tailgate. A lot of people showed up and had a good time. And at the end of the day, for all us right here, we're excited to see that.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday was definitely a great day. Everything leading up until, let's just say, the second half of that game. The tailgate itself was awesome. I mean, we got down there extra early. We kind of forecasted there was going to be a similar kind of debacle that there was a couple of weeks ago when the Flyers were playing, and we ended up just calling an audible early and moving everything to the M lot, get some boots on the pavement instead of in the snow. And the party was great, man. DJ Lowski, he absolutely killed it this year. Shout out to him. Shout out to my man, Chris from VA. Dude, it was an absolute beast all year long, securing spots for us, helping us out during the tailgate setup. Just overall keep the peace at these tailgates. He did a great job. Everybody. I just want to thank everybody that has been a part of these tailgates all year long. But, we go into the game and it was all about vibes, man. I mean, I was there. I was sporting the Kelsey jersey. That was potentially Kelsey's last game at the link, man. I was feeling
Certain way.
A little bit. I was feeling a little emotional, bro. I mean, I can't help it. He's one of my all-time favorite Eagles. And to be at the game that is potentially his last game there was good to be there, man. It was good to be there and support. I mean, obviously the wheels fell off in the second half, but like if Dallas is walking up and down or flying home, celebrating a huge victory here, you were going, this was a glorified JV squad. I mean, we had was practice squad players left and right. If you want to celebrate your 5 touchdown passes last night and sweeping the division, okay, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, we're already in the playoffs. I already know that the Cowboys are going to come up short in the playoffs because that's what they do. They end up getting bounced in the first or second round. That's what's going to happen. And then Dallas isn't going to be able to say shit if we end up winning this game next Sunday. And honestly, I'm in the mode right now where we have the momentum that I want going into these playoffs. It's all about momentum going into the playoffs. You don't want to catch that hot team. We're that hot team this year. So if we roll in and we end up getting a dub, like going to these playoffs is already gravy, but we end up getting a dub in these playoffs and Dallas gets bounced first, you don't got to listen to a word they fucking say all the way until next season. So that's pretty much my Super Bowl this year. I'm looking to do better than the Cowboys. That's where I'm at.
I don't even know if there's any much to go ahead and follow up with that because Evan done touched on every single thing. But yeah, man, I mean, another great turnout yesterday. Shout out to my West Coast family. I got a couple of them in the building in the background here. I mean, they definitely came out and represented on the West Side yesterday, showing us mad love. It was a great tailgate, great turnout. It was cold as shit. I think we were all out there freezing our asses off, but I mean, that's what we do, man. We're regardless of whatever the weather may be, whatever the conditions may be, we're there to support our team.
That's teamwork right there.
That is definitely teamwork right there. And when the man needs light, we get him light. You know what I mean?
And I want to throw a shout out to you for that, Prime, because not only did I hand Prime a cheesesteak, I kind of was in the thought process of once I hand Prime this cheesesteak, my light is gone. This guy's gonna want to eat. He kept up the light. I hand him the cheesesteak. He's holding up the light. He was big help.
Oh, no doubt, man. That's what we're there for. But yeah, and the definite thing that I want to touch upon is you Dallas Cowboys fans. I'm gonna stick to what I said in the very beginning of the season, halfway through the season, and now this part of the season. You had your run. But man, listen, when you guys were struggling the way you did against second and third stringers in that first half, I don't give a shit what y'all say. All right, your run is going to come to an end. If you really think you're going to take it all the way you guys were struggling yesterday, man, think again. The other thing is, man, again, like Gayle had mentioned, our expectations going into that game yesterday, if you guys, you true ones, if you guys really thought we were going to win that game, that was a tough one. Now, surprisingly, I was really surprised to see Dallas Cowboys play their starters the way they did all the way through that game. I didn't expect them, my bad, besides the last maybe 10 minutes. But it's wild, I just felt like they were probably going to go ahead and sit those guys down after the first half, but that wasn't the case. They brought them back out. But I see some of these comments in here. I see some of the frustrations. Yeah, they ended up, getting 51 points on us. I get it. That could be frustrating. You don't definitely want to be like that. But, hey, it is what it is. I mean, these guys are still, developing. There were some good plays yesterday. Watkins looked good yesterday. Minshew, had he had his starters, when he had the starters in there, he looked decent. Guys were making plays. And then, when you bring in the second and third stringers, again, these are all guys that are just developing. They're in the NFL. I get it. It's any given Sunday, but you got to, work with what we got. The outcome yesterday wasn't the points wasn't what we expected, but hey, it is what it is. Nothing to get frustrated about because next week when it's the playoffs, you guys know what the real deal is. Our starters are back in there. We're going to get a better outcome, a way better outcome. So, just get ready for that. Don't sit on the bullshit that happened yesterday. That was just like a preseason game. And we mentioned this in the very beginning of the week. So, better expectations next week.
I think the most important thing about this team and this football team and getting them ready for the playoffs is making sure they're healthy. Mm-hmm. And, we had a guy that we've been hoping to lead on, and Tyree Jackson tear his ACL. And this is why you don't play your starters if you don't have to. It was just funny for some people who can't grasp that we were already in the playoffs. This is already a win-win. Now we're all sitting here this afternoon. By the end of this afternoon, we'll kind of figure out who we're playing or where we're attempting to potentially go. Maybe, I don't know. It's still up in the air, but I feel like, we now just have to figure out as fans where we're going to travel to. This team has to figure out who they're going to play. The coachings have to figure out what kind of scheme they're going up against. So it could be Brady, it could be LA and the Rams, it could be Arizona or something. But at the end of the day, being in the moment, let's just figure out where this team has come from as to where they are today, and appreciate that we're in the playoffs. We're in the dance. Time to dance.
Do you think that, I mean, I talked about how we're the hot team and we have momentum going into the playoffs. Do you think this game yesterday kind of took away any momentum, or you think we're just kind of writing that off as it just didn't even happen?
Yeah, I think it's a definite write-off, man. I mean, again, these guys were trying out different things yesterday. Again, like I had mentioned before we even got on, you saw that these guys were just testing the water, seeing what plays they could come up with. There was like 11 to 12 straight rushes, being down 30. They weren't really focused on, trying to come back or anything like that. They were just keeping their feet wet, and making plays. So I think I definitely am going to go ahead and say that it was just like it's put behind them. They definitely didn't take their foot off the pedal. Come next week, that momentum is still going to be there, and it's what we need, especially going into this playoff game. So, yeah, I think all that shit's behind us. It's a definite write-off for me.
I just think, it's a get right moment. Like, you're trying to get your team right. Are we trading momentum? Like, nah, I feel like everyone's in tune with, like, when you're sitting your starting corner, you give Jason Kelsey one snap, like they know what it is. It's imperative for them to be at full strength, whatever that is. Like, we're getting some of these guys back from COVID and getting these guys locked in. Like, it's now about being locked in and now being very sure of what you guys are going to do, sure of your identity. And I've seen some comments in the chat, just sticking to the run, like do what you talk about the Bucks when we played them first time. Did we run on them like we've been running the last half of the season? Did we stick? Did we try to, we're a different team. So if you can play a team twice in one season, it's hard to beat a team twice.
Yeah. No, I agree.
They're not playing their backups.
Well, that's kind of the point that I was getting at, is that, like, I was saying that I was asking if we lost any momentum. Do you think that Dallas's game plan yesterday, did they have any sort of seed implications if they lost that game yesterday? If they ended up just playing their backups, do you think that they started those guys for the sole purpose of momentum?
Well, it was mentioned early in the week that these guys were worrying about going undefeated in the division. So they gathered up as a group and they decided to go ahead and play their starters so they could guarantee that 6th win in the division. Okay. There was also rumor that, not rumor, but they are in a situation, because like right now I'm keeping tabs on this San Fran LA game, but there is, there is a way that they could go ahead and get that 2 spot. LA loses, Tampa Bay loses, Dallas is up there. Yeah. And there's a chance that we'll be playing Dallas once again next week.
Right.
So, right. So there was a lot to it. But again, surprisingly, knowing that, that game was pretty much out of reach going into that second half, knowing that we were going to stick to our second and third stringers, I was just surprised that they ended up keeping all their starters in there. So on that second half is the surprising part to me. On that first half, no, not at all.
I kept on hearing in the crowd, like, Dallas still got they got their stars in there. Like, everyone was like, and Dallas fans in the crowd. Like, I'm gonna tell you about this one Dallas fan who's from Philly, actually, and
fraud.
And he's out here like razzing like a young couple. They're very cool. They go to Kutztown, and just telling them to sit down in their own stadium
as soon as we walked in.
So I had to I felt like I had to stick my neck out for these guys. I'm like, don't mess with this young couple over here, old man. I said, I was like, I don't know if you know how things are done here, but anybody in this row, in this whole section, is not sitting down. He's like, well, I pay good money. I'm like, we all pay good money. I'm just telling you what it is. Like, they're not gonna sit down, so leave these people alone.
Yeah.
So it was funny, man. Like,
and then he bounced by halftime.
Yeah, get it. Put him in the bathroom.
Put him in the bathroom. pitcher.
That was a lot of there was a lot of those fans, those type of fans last night, man. I really I laugh because some of these fans, it's just because their mommy and daddy just didn't raise them right, or their mommy and daddy just didn't know I don't know, they just weren't smart in the head or something for them to become Dallas Cowboys fans. These guys were just there cheering a team. They don't know shit about football. They don't know shit about their history. I mean, I hate when we're talking about a generation that's been nowhere near the last Super Bowl runs these guys had, and they want to talk about, well, we got this, we got that. You don't have shit, okay? You don't have shit. You don't know nothing about the last championships these people, this team or that organization won. So stop coming at me with we got more rings than you guys and all that stuff. Man, look, it's just frustrating. Last night as I'm leaving, I had a lady. I looked at her and I'm like, look, you're a fan. I get it. And I think you're just a fan of the colors because you don't know shit about this team. Yeah. All right. If you're really happy about this 51-26 victory that you just pulled off against second and third stringers, I don't even think she even knew the meaning of second and third stringers. But I let her have her moment. I was like, look, enjoy it. I mean, I'm glad you came to Philly. I'm glad you had a good time. And I'm glad you're leaving out of here with a victory. Right. Enjoy it. Because next week, when reality kicks in, or when reality kicks in within these playoffs, hey, look, then you're gonna come back to realization, and then you're gonna know what your organization is really all about.
And I think it's time too that I mean we're talking about all these wins and losses. I think it's time we have an interesting conversation. There's something that is kind of I've been thinking about these past couple hours. I got something in the chamber. I'm just thinking about all these people that were the Wentz apologists of the world. And, we're sitting here as an NFL team that first-year head coach, essentially a rookie starting quarterback, 9-8, the same record as the Colts. We're going to the playoffs. They just lost to Jacksonville, one of the worst teams in the league, and all they had to do was win and you're in. And Carson Wentz ends up going up there and just laying an absolute egg. So I mean, anybody that wants to have the conversation about, oh well, you got rid of Doug Peterson and Frank Reich was Carson Wentz's guy, and they're the perfect match made in heaven. Well, a rookie head coach and Jalen Hurts just got the job done. We're going to the playoffs. We're going to the dance. Carson's going to be watching from the couch. So.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, like the fact that I mean, do you have to really go back and reflect that, not just only where this team was at, but the moments, fans on the timeline, in your head, the fans out there who been talking smack or talking whatever, who have been on the high horse or whatever, their takes, and you I could, I've saved the receipts. I could bring these back to your attention.
Jonathan Taylor, bro. They had Jonathan Taylor.
I know. I mean, it's definitely you gotta. It's not like you gotta feel for Colts fans, but you've been in that situation, so you're knowing how they're feeling. Wentz he's been consistently inconsistent. We can say that, but shout out to him for losing with the Colts because that's better for a draft pick. So. Yeah. We have collectively.
He's go Birds till we die, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he gave us what we needed. We needed the 75% mark, man, and he gave us that, so we got our first round pick. Yep. I don't know if you guys were able to catch some of the clips to that game, but there was some pretty bad play calling. These guys were at 4-1. It kind of reminded me of a Doug Peterson play. They decided to go ahead and throw the ball instead of using your number one running back in the league to go ahead and get you that 1 yard. That was pretty wow. You know what I mean? And I was just as much as shocked, seeing that, they ended up being hot, but they cooled down, and they cooled down at the wrong time, man. So, yeah, it looks like they're going to be sitting on the couch.
So sorry about that, Carson. And in our own division, I mean, that play that you just talked about, it wasn't even the worst play of the day. I'm not sure if you saw Joe Judge, which has a job already next year, call in a quarterback sneak on his own 4 on 3rd and 9.
Yeah. What the hell is that about?
I think brain damage. I think he's probably got brain damage.
Well, I mean, they're losing their GM, and again, that's a move I was very excited about, and I'm very upset about it because as long as you keep men's in there, they're going to be continuously doing the things that they do, draft Daniel Jones. As soon as they brought him up there, I was like, This is the dude that doesn't believe in analytics. He's like the last guy to jump on the bandwagon. Just learn how to log into his computer. Everything in Giant country is going as expected. So, we do have to just hat tip them for screwing things up.
I mean, there is like players that are constantly calling Joe Judge and just talking about how badly they want to play for him and stuff. So I'm sure that all that's really going on.
Yeah, I love how you mentioned that.
They looked at that quarterback sneak on 3rd and 9. They're like, you know what? I wish I was in that fucking play.
I'm pretty sure I got somebody that was on the team last year that wanted to run the same play.
Yeah. This is, and keep in mind, this is the same bogus piece of shit Giants team that was complaining to us for blowing a game last year. Dude, you guys are trash. Did you think you were going to do anything in the playoffs? You guys are straight bums, bro.
Bro, I still have my boss at work who's the head of everything. So like I got a congratulatory email from him saying how impressed he was with the Eagles and their turnaround. So I mean, that the fact that a Giant fan reached out, I mean, he is my coworker, but I appreciated it. I appreciate it. But I mean, their coaches just like, I don't know what if they're the awareness, self-awareness. Like, I don't know where he feels like he has all this clout when he doesn't have this clout to be out here making coaches run. Like you thought making coaches run in training camp was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And then playing Fly Eagles Fly, the fight song, and having your team get waxed.
It's cringy, bro. It is the coach version of trying to eat a W. That's really what it is.
At the end of it all, man, I'm okay with it because that's their problem. That's their problem for the next at least for sure for the next upcoming season. That is their problem. Let it be.
Yeah. Paul Crumbling is in the comments. He's asking, you think Sirianni could get coach of the year? I've seen this as a conversation that's been going on recently. What do you guys think?
I think he's in the discussion. I think he should be in this discussion. I know, like, if you want to go and say, Green Bay has done a great job with one of their younger coaches. He's second year in the league as a head coach.
Yep.
So, I mean, and you're going to go by the record standard. Okay. If you're looking at Sirianni as being a runner up or a little bit right behind, turning a 4-win team into a 9-8 team going into the playoffs. I mean, that's fine. Give him a hat tip at least. I know former Colts players have been, saying that it's a bad look that he's not even on the list.
I think that me and Gayle, we were actually on the phone. We talked about this recently. I think that Nick Sirianni's turnaround of this team has been tremendous. I think he's done a great job of taking a roster that really was all over the place and making some sense out of it by the end of the year. But when it's all said and done, if we're talking about coach of the year, we're talking about the best coach of the 32 coaches in the league. And quite frankly, sorry, I had to drop that in there, Gayle. I think that Nick Sirianni, he had a rough first half of the year. So I'm looking at like all these other 32 coaches. There's a coach out there that had a solid 17-game season. That's who I think the coach of the year should go to. That's no disrespect at all towards Nick Sirianni. I just think that he pretty much almost has the same chance to win it as Brian Flores. I think that Miami's turnaround of their season isn't nearly talked about enough. I think that they were an absolute dumpster bottom of the barrel team, and they actually turned it around and had a decent season. I think that those two were on the same level as far as coach of the year is concerned. But yeah, I think it's going to go to a coach with like a LaFleur or a Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh yeah, I mean, for certain. I mean, I definitely agree with you. Those two should be talked about a whole lot more if they're not being talked about at all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I agree with you, man. I think it's going to definitely go to a coach, a regular coach that we're accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
But hats off to both those guys. It took Nick Sirianni to go ahead and just actually throw some seed into the garden, man. And here, we joked about it, we clowned him about it, but hey, if in reality, it was facts.
I love being wrong like that.
Yeah, man. And then, Flores, man, he just fell one game short of, making that miracle come around. I mean, starting off 0-7 and then to go on a 7-game win streak.
That's what I mean, man. That's a hell of a turnaround.
That's a big turnaround right there for sure. Yeah.
I mean, while we're here, we haven't really put any respect on this man's name, really. I mean, we talked about I'm a little bit, but just giving a hat tip to our wide receiver one. First year breaking some records. A breaking record by Deshaun Jackson, another GOAT legend here.
All-time Eagle.
But
Slim Reaper, the Slim Reaper.
the Slim Reaper has been a definition of consistency. We've seen the growth. I'm sure he's got the skill set, but just growing into his own as a professional wideout. We've had an up and down ride with selecting wide receivers, and he's come in and been that guy from day one. I think his the way he works, the way that he practices, I think it's got to resonate, in the locker room. Quez Watkins, another guy who just put up over 600 yards receiving.
He had a good year. Yeah. I think too, with Devontae Smith, like I went back and looked, and I could have swore that he had missed some games earlier this year. And then I went back and looked at his stats. I think he played every single game this year. And for a guy that is his size, and everybody talked about when we were drafting about how he's too small to play the position. Dude played all 17 games. He didn't get hurt. He was consistently good. He was breaking tackles out there. I've seen him break a couple tackles this year. So for all these people that were saying that he's way too small, I mean, he proved you wrong. He was a great wide receiver for us this year, and he's only going to continue to get better while he's wearing Eagles green.
I mean, hands down, bro. Broke the record. Finished all 17 games without an injury. He stayed to his word. He came in the NFL and he did his thing.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, for all those people that were hating on him, shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Now, like for those who are listening to the podcast, you won't be able to see what I'm about to bring up, but just thinking about going back to Jason Kelce. Like you talk about his career being was it 6th round or 5th round from Cincinnati?
Fifth, I think.
Like he has come like so far, like in his career, like to being a voice of a fan base, to being a voice in the locker room in the city. Like if you ran for mayor, there's a good chance he might win it.
Yeah.
I have this photo I took of Kelce from like his rookie year. I went to training camp, and I remember looking at him and just being this undersized guy. And he had a grown man beard, but he had the
Motley Crue mullet.
Yeah, the mullet.
But because I'm trying to think about like him coming from where he's come from, and for him to become the voice of the fan base. Like, look at this photo here. Like he and I'm looking at this. I'm like, this guy is so undersized. Like what is he thinking? Like he's a rookie. Like I'm sitting on the sidelines, just trying to figure out who all the players are. And he's in the huddle, and he's in there with Mathis and Harriman, and it's like
straight butch look.
He looks like he's on Castaway, man.
Like
he looks like Tom Hanks in Castaway.
Like this guy has come in and really just
now he definitely looks like, and Evan, you're too young for this one. He looks like the missing link. Back in the day, he looks like the missing link, man. Like it's crazy. And Blue Meanie was on here; he would know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Morris says, fans wanted him gone in 16. He didn't forget. He did not forget. He actually mentioned that. So, just hat tip to Kelce for just plugging away and doing him.
Yeah,
really.
Absolutely. And Jason brought up a great point here. I'm looking for it if I can. He's talking about his speech. As like I think we can all agree, and I don't think that this is even like a bias Eagles opinion at this point. I think it's safe to say Jason Kelce would be a Hall of Famer. I'm not so sure about maybe first ballot, but he'll be in the Hall of Fame at some point in his life. And just the way that, like, I remember when Kansas City won the Super Bowl and Travis Kelce tried filling his brother's shoes at the parade, and he tried having this big epic speech. But the problem was it wasn't organic. Like Jason Kelce went up there and he spoke from the heart. You can hear the emotion in his voice every time he speaks. And so that was just, it resonated with everybody because everybody out in the crowd knew he was being 100% genuine and he wasn't trying to be corny at all. He was speaking from his heart. And so when we go out there as a group to go watch him get inducted in the Hall of Fame the same way we did Brian Dawkins, I'm looking forward to that, man, because I know that speech is going to be off the fucking chain.
Are you going to go as the Kelsey that came into the league, or are you going to go as?
Oh hell yeah! I even got the mummer's hat and everything. I got it in the closet. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I mean that will be another Hall of Fame trip to Canton. That everyone's gonna enjoy that one. I think
for sure.
And the idea is some people are saying. I mean, AJ is out here saying Kelsey will retire next year. Who knows? Who knows if there's a vibe and he feels like the team's going in that direction.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I'm out here looking at Tyler Lindenbaum from Iowa, and I'm like, okay, if you're gonna, but if not, stop the presses. If Kelsey's coming back, he can do whatever he wants.
Call me a homer all you want, but I had the idea the other day. I was like, with Jason Kelsey getting older, I don't know what his plans are post playing. I was like, I would love for him to sit under Stoutland for a few years. Stoutland's getting up there in age. Eventually be a predecessor to Stoutland. I'm just throwing ideas out there.
Serious ideas, man. I mean, I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I just want him just give him an honorary coach. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
He would as a just speaking from the heart and all that stuff. Players would love to play for him, without a doubt.
His speech last week, to the team was so refreshing, and the idea of that you're thinking about the younger players that he's actually talking to, in that message, the guys in the locker room that as a fan need some coaching on how to embrace Philadelphia or how to control the narrative as a player. And you're watching him speak to those guys, and you're sitting there as a fan watching it, and you're like, I'm hyped up. I'm ready to go cut the grass, do something inspire. He's inspired, super inspires you. So you're wondering how is that resonating? So I really hope he drops these gems and these younger players really just eat it up and take it to the bank,
And that's just one speech that we actually heard. That's one speech that they put out on the social media. Who knows how many speeches he's actually had with these guys? In the back room. There's a lot of shit that I'm pretty sure that he's teaching these youngies.
And not even just speeches in front of the whole group of people, but also just those one-on-one moments where he pulls a guy aside and is this is how we conduct ourselves. This is what you need to do. You know what I mean?
I mean, because we even had Jalen come out and say this guy has pulled me to the side. These guys he has word with me. He has had words with me, encouraging words. So, he definitely puts that influence on a lot of these players.
For sure.
And the fact that he's a 6th-round pick out of Cincinnati, looking like the missing link or caveman, if he can do it, anyone can.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Now, heading into playoff week, this is where it gets tricky. Right now, these games are going on, and we are collectively trying to figure out some things. I know the Eagles are trying to figure out some. The players are probably watching some games, but now is the real test. Now is the real time you start to evaluate who your opponent is. No one was evaluating anything. Only nut jobs last week. Yep. So now it's time. We'll definitely be getting to more shows this week.
Yeah, we'll actually do some more shows this week.
Yeah, I'm just saying that this week was it's kind of crazy this week.
Yeah, got Sixers games to go to.
Yeah. Mention that part. Way to go, Evan. Yeah. You see how he was trying to leave that one out?
No, yo, didn't you have a recording to do?
Huh?
For your job?
I did.
Yeah. See?
Oh man, don't put it on.
No, because Gayle calls me earlier that day, and we had I think it was on Friday, and he calls me, and I was just crying. He's like, "Yeah, I got these extra Sixers tickets." I just straight up told him, "It's just go to the game, bro. I got something I got to do at 8:00 anyway."
The real truth comes out.
Yeah.
But funny thing, talking about going to the game yesterday, just watching Shout out to the Cali boys in the back, Mark out there. I mean, like, y'all gotta dress warm more. Like, think about. I mean,
I was
Mark had his cute little jacket on and all
dude.
customized. Like Evan had his. I look at Evan. He's like, "Yo, we're at the game." He's like, "I don't think I'm gonna make it to the fourth quarter." And I look at him like, I was like, "Where's your winter jacket?" I really sounded like a dad, and he's like,
Yeah.
"I got a winter jacket. This
You
is
can
a
see the
Carhartt.
struggle in all their faces.
This is a
last night.
Carhartt, bro. This is like
that thing's thick as hell, bro.
like,
Gail's over there clowning me, saying that's a winter sweatshirt. I was like, dude, this thing is like 10 pounds.
I was
Like,
like,
it's a heavy jacket.
And then I'm like, bro. And then I'm like, "Hey, do you want some more hand warmers? You got some more?" I was like, "Yeah, you. I got like 10."
Yo,
Yeah,
and I think I didn't realize how much I was showing it on my face too, but I was actually walking out of the stadium and I'm walking by myself, just going through the lot. I got the shoulders up and everything. And this fucking dude walks by me. He's like, "Yo, bro, you got to warm up." I'm like, "Yeah, no shit, bro. That's what I'm on my way to the car."
Yo, I see you from a distance because I was trying to get y'all attention most of the game.
Yeah.
And I could see you from a distance like this. And I'm like, yo, Evan looks cold as shit. He's struggling over there. I'm like, man. Yeah, but I mean, like, I try to give everybody a heads up. I try to give my peoples here from the west side a heads up. Like, yo, when you come over here, you got to be layered up. I mean,
sure.
I know I was four layers yesterday. I wasn't playing around. Now, shout out to the wifey, man. She came to the game to me yesterday. Was at the tailgate. But
Had
she
herself a
suffered,
chicken cheesesteak.
yeah, she definitely enjoyed that, man. She gave you mad props for that. But she definitely she took one for the team yesterday. She was very, very cold. She got home. Listen, her lips were purple, and she went to bed with hand warmers. That's how cold she was.
Dude, I got out of the shower and like my whole body was like red.
Yeah. Yeah. You was like you didn't even want to get out of the shower. You wanted
I didn't. I almost stayed in the shower until the water started to get cold. I was like, I'm just fucking trying to thaw out.
I think we were like all yelling at it. Me and Autumn were yelling at each other like, close the goddamn door.
We did find some footage of Autumn. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there she is. She was representing the birds and Frozen. I was like, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, not many people are prepared. I actually did a video early in the morning. I was gonna post out just to post like this is what I'm wearing. But I was like, fuck it. Like I spent like 10 minutes. And I was like,
Well, it looks like next season we're probably gonna have to give like a tutorial about how to dress up at an Eagles tailgate at this time of the year. You know what I mean? Like layered, break it down, especially for Evan. Like, yo, you need this, you need this.
September we're wearing shorts.
Yeah. So prior to the game, Ev's like, "You're wearing sneakers? You're not wearing boots?" He's like,
bro, boots was even. I suffered in my Timbs yesterday at that tailgate, man. Once it was time to go in the building, I made the switch. I threw the Gayle Saunders specials on yesterday.
Yeah.
And those things, they came through, man. I know when we were leaving the building, my brother was even curious, like, you got holes in those sneakers there, but I got warmers inside of them too. So I'm good.
Now, and I like the boots yesterday. The feet were not cold. My boots are fine. They were just uncomfortable. I was walking around those. I got home. I kicked those boots off. I was like, God damn, my feet are hurting.
Shout out to Further AM. Do we have more tailgate footage? You know, if you post some of this footage with like
Tag Fourth and Jawn.
Well, I mean, if people have their own footage from the tailgate, just tag Fourth and Jawn. But I'm just saying, like, you can't even post some of this footage to your socials because they have music in it. So if you post it, you get your page banned for posting it. So if check out, shout out to Danny back there, Philadelphia 2.0 on IG. Give him a follow while you're at it.
Give the man Chris Nady a follow too.
Oh yeah.
Him and thank you for bringing Doc to the tailgates all these weeks.
Yeah. So Danny has a 2-minute video, I think, which was kind of like the heat of when it was starting to, like, the party was about to pop off and everyone was having a good time. So go check out his page and.
Well, I mean, at the same time, I think we could go ahead and we could collab all the videos and pictures that we have of the season and give it to our number one editor up there. and he can put something together, and then we can throw it on YouTube. And if you guys get a chance, go and subscribe on YouTube, and you get to see all the tailgate content you want. You know what I mean?
I like where your head's at, Prime. I like where your head's at.
I am actually posting something with like everything from yesterday that I have. So if you see one of your clips that I've randomly jacked off social media.
Excuse me?
No, that I've jacked off social.
Said it twice.
Photo jacked. Okay.
I know what I'm saving. That said 39 minutes and 38 seconds. Okay.
Ain't nobody photo jack anybody.
Excuse me, man.
I jacked them off twice. What are you talking about?
Done. Oh man. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, like I know I'm still lacking sleep. I did wake up at 12 o'clock today. Evan, what time did you wake up there?
I don't want to talk about it. It's like noon probably.
Oh, bro, listen, it felt good. We were kidless.
But I stayed up till like 3-4 o'clock for some reason last night anyway. I got home, I couldn't fall asleep.
Not me and wifey, man. We looked at each other. I don't even think we said goodnight to each other. We were out. And I woke up, bro. It was the best sleep I had in a long time. No kids. You know what I mean? Slept till about 11:30. I'll take that. You know what I mean? I needed that.
No, I mean leaving that game yesterday, like I was
I left right on time.
Well, I was not. I'm the same. Before I leaving the game, I was not even stressed. Like I was watching this game. You don't really watch games like that too often because you're like.
Well, I have to say, I had to be compassionate to my brother, the Cowboys fan. So he doesn't he doesn't get to see his team as much as we see ours.
Of course.
If he followed a real serious team, he would get to see his players every week. But he wants to follow a team that's in the middle of the country, and so it was his opportunity to go ahead and see them. So we started working our way lower and lower to the seats. So he got to see, gave him some footage and all that stuff. He's pretty impressed with the win. He won't stop talking about it. 51-26 victory.
It hit the fourth quarter. I was sitting there freezing. I said to Gayle, I was like, as soon as it hit 37-20, I was like, it's too cold for this preseason shit. I'm out of here. I fucking got out of there. By the time I got to my car, I turned it on the radio and it's 51-20. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not missing anything.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, I left with 5 minutes left.
Yeah, we ended up staying the whole game, so it was all good. It was all good.
Yeah, I mean, we all collectively say what Moira says. Dallas sucks. Hey, man, again, if you haven't been to the link during a Dallas Eagles week or Dallas hate week, I encourage you guys to come to a tailgate. You're gonna have to wait a year for it. I know I saw a question about are we gonna throw any more tailgates or parties?
But except it not being a Prime versus Evan, we're gonna go ahead and get Mr. Saunders in some of these competitions too.
Okay, as long as it involved my torn ACL, we could do some throwing competitions.
You really had to throw that in there. Like now you want to come up with excuses,
bro. My ACL's not torn.
Oh, stop! How do you say it wasn't torn?
I gotta slip my knee back in place. For me to tell you, like, bro.
Did you tear that when we had that?
No.
It was prior.
It was torn. Yeah. I got a torn ACL. I got a torn ACL and MCL.
All right, man. Stop. Look, yesterday's tailgate, though, I really don't think it was all about Eagles versus Cowboys tailgate. I think it was more like we in the playoffs tailgate. That's
and that's what I honestly. I was walking around. I was talking to a few people. I was like, you know what? This is one of the most relaxing tailgates we've had. Just based off the fact that, like, no matter what happened in the game, it didn't matter. Like, we're just there for the vibes yesterday. We were just enjoying. We were essentially celebrating the entire year that we've had, and that we're going to the postseason. I mean, and like I said, there wasn't high expectations for this year. So the fact that we're even in the playoffs right now is gravy. But I was also saying that next year, I have high expectations for this team. When they show me that they can get into the playoffs at 9-8, and we have 3 first-round picks next year, I have high expectations for this team. They better do something good.
Great.
And I did predict that they would go 9-8 if we go back and watch.
Here we
It
go.
did. It did come up. I thought we had another prediction show, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
But I know me and Ev were on a podcast where Ev had like 8 and 9.
Yeah.
9 and 8. But
I
again,
had 10 and 7. I had 10 and 7.
yeah, I mean, and the fact that they they got in, that is just like that's amazing. But the fact that Evan's talking about here, the expectations that you talk about, the 3 first-round picks, along with bringing in some free agents, bro, that's a nice recipe for taking a team to another level.
This could be our 2016, bro, to our 2017. That's what I'm saying.
The 2016 team.
That
Is that what you're saying?
2016 was a first-year head coach, first-year quarterback. They did all right. Second year,
I mean,
all the pieces came together.
But
And you know what? In the beginning of that second year, it didn't feel like it was going to be that. As the year progressed, that's when you started to realize we got some real deal shit going on here. So
Yeah,
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like, don't twist my words and say I'm saying that we're going to win the Super Bowl next year. I'm saying that this team, as it's built right now, could be that 2016 team to our 2017 team.
I know what you meant.
You know what I mean?
I know what you meant.
I have high expectations, bro.
Hey,
I'm really excited for next year.
Atlanta gave you the bruh.
I know. Trying to get me to pump the brakes. I'm not gonna pump them.
No, I mean, but if hey, you get a real deal free agent wide receiver in here, maybe a little playmaker in the middle. Start fixing up, getting some young talent, infusing the team some more young talent on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah,
if you get in the playoffs, what's the next step? You know what I mean? So
the way this game's going over here,
I expect this team. I expect next year's team to be better than this team.
They're holding a 17-0 lead right now.
What's the score?
17-0. And they just picked them off. So looks like LA.
Ooh. Come on, man. I'm not trying to like. Damn.
Matty Stafford's kind of been on a downturn though. No.
I'm just saying. I don't want to travel to LA. I want to get in my car and just drive to Tampa.
Oh yeah.
You're
I like how Gayle says just drive to Tampa. It's the med
right.
Little does he know I'll be sleeping.
Yeah.
Prime's like, you want to roll? All right, I'm ready to go to sleep whenever.
I'm ready to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Just wake up. You good? Okay, I'm going back to sleep.
Every road trip, Prime's like, you good? I said, bro, you could have waited till the sentence was over before phone. Yeah, I wouldn't mind driving to Tampa, but I mean, we're gonna be driving hopefully to the Senior Bowl.
Down to Alabama.
I'm not really trying to drive to Bama. Like I've heard some really bad stories driving to Bama.
I mean, like I honestly want to just know
you got a broken taillight, son. Like, you know what I mean?
I want to know how many miles you're gonna put on this car in its first year.
Probably 50. Probably I already put 10,000 miles on it.
That's insane. And you're not even like the funniest part is that you're not even going to work. You're working remotely and you're putting 15,000 miles on your car. anything for the Jawn.
We appreciate it. We appreciate the white band.
That's all. It is what it is, man. Like, you know, it'll be great to put like 20,000, 30,000 miles just for 4th of July stuff.
AJ doesn't want you taking the risk going down to Alabama.
Boy, you got a broken taillight, son. Yeah, I mean, you know, any last words before we get out of here?
I just want to kind of repeat what I said earlier in this podcast at the top of the show. I want to just send a special thank you to everybody that has helped us put on these tailgates this year. Allie, Chris, Lowski,
Mally.
You know, I said Allie. Yeah.
No, Mally.
Chris Mally. Yeah. You know, everybody that played a part in helping us throw these tailgates. Alex with your pork. I just want to say a special thank you. We honestly couldn't have done it without you guys. You guys are a crucial piece to us throwing these tailgates. So thank you. And I can't wait to see you guys again next year.
Yeah, I mean, no better way to go ahead and end it with that. Also, definitely want to go ahead and thank you guys for keeping their composure. I mean, being patient with us. We definitely have a lot going on, but it's all about giving back to you guys. So it was a great shout out to you two, to the three of us, man. We made it happen. So it was great. It's a restart. It's a brand new season come next week. So now it's on us to go ahead and make the best of it. I'm looking forward to whoever we play. Playoffs. I'm excited. I got just to give you guys a heads up, I got my brother here. He's to the right of me.
Oh, this guy. I could smell him through the camera. I could smell him through the camera.
He's asking for predictions. He's asking for predictions.
Cowboys get bounced round 1. That's my prediction.
There it is. Thank you.
There it is. Thought you knew.
That's what you asked for. That's what you're gonna get.
That's what you get. I'm trying. We're trying to speak it to existence.
Realistically, I'm telling you, it's realistically. You're bounced in the first round.
Yeah.
All right. Realistically, they're gonna get bounced in the first round by Arizona.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Arizona, what happened?
Yeah. Okay. It doesn't matter. You're not winning the Super Bowl. You're not winning the Super Bowl.
They tell them that they don't have the facilities for that.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
You see?
Man. But I echo your last words, guys. I mean, I'm just thankful for you guys first and foremost for being a solid team. Everybody's been just ride, man. A lot of support from just everybody in general in the community. Lowski, Mally, Allie, Chris, just everyone that showed up, the people in the comments. We appreciate you guys supporting, riding. It's been a great ride, man. Like it's you look back, you think about the road trips and why you're in a car. Why am I like? Because it just is what it is. That's what we enjoy doing. And there's a lot of people, you meet. You meet all the time, every week on trips or just randomly walking through Philly that feel the same way you do and are riding high on their Eagles no matter what. Stick with them through thick and thin. But hey, man, we're in the playoffs. I'm excited. I'm like, this is the geek week for me. So we might have to do shows all week.
Hey man, and that's what I'm saying too. Is that like just because the season's coming to an end doesn't mean the show's going to be coming to an end. So
nah, not at all.
We'll be out here, and I regret even saying that. This season ain't coming to an end yet. We still got games, bitch. We still got games.
Man. Everyone hold tight, man. We'll figure out who we are playing shortly. I said we, and the Eagles will figure out who they are playing shortly, and we'll figure it out, get our shit together, and get ready for the first round of the playoffs. But we'll see you guys in the next one. As always, fly, Eagles, fly.
Go Birds.
Let's make it awkward.
Let's make it awkward.
Still making it awkward.